Skyline Park is an amusement park located in the south of Germany. Skyline Park is located an hour away from Munich and 50 minutes away from Ulm. The park opened in 1999 and has seen rapid expansion over the past years. The park is home to 7 roller coasters, with the most recent addition opening a day after we visited the park. The park is also home to a bunch of other well-known rides, such as a huge 150-meter tall Funtime Skyflyer and other big flat rides. We visited Skyline Park as a part of our big European theme park road trip. Park was our first stop of the Germany leg of the trip. If you drive to Skyline Park from Ulm, you will be greeted with a grand reveal of the park. Most of the rides tower well above the tree line, creating an amazing looking skyline. The entrance is located on the other side of the road if you're coming by car, so you will have to walk through a tunnel, which I thought was quite unique. The layout of the park is unlike any other I've ever seen, and it really reminded me of a huge city park. The first ride that we did was their suspended single-wheel coaster called Skyrider. This coaster, constructed by Caripro, which also built the long-gone Vleermuis and Plopsaland de Panne, was quite unique. The coaster has a spinning vehicle, which actually makes it an inverted spinning coaster. The maintenance on this coaster looked poor to none, which was sadly a reoccurring theme in the whole park. Another negative thing I noticed when we were queuing were the ride operators. They were smoking during the operation of the ride, which was quite weird to see, although this wasn't the only part where we saw this happen. The next coaster we went to was Flotter Otto, which is such a funny name by the way. This coaster was located in a very nice looking village area. The park doesn't really have themed lands, however it does have little areas where rides are clustered together, and those areas are lightly themed. Flotter Otto is a standard SBF Visa family coaster, which is okay, but nothing special. Afterwards, we went to the park's star coaster, Skywheel. This is a Maurer Skyloop. Skywheel is the standard layout, which can be found in plenty of parks. Had only ridden Abismo in Parque de Atracciones Madrid before, so it was really fun to experience the standard model as well, even though it is nothing special. The ride was fun because it runs 2 cycles and it is quite intense, but besides that, it's nothing special. Then it was time for another SBF Visa coaster. Kidspin is a standard SBF Visa spinning coaster that you can also find in countless parks all over the globe. I find these to be quite fun as they can give you some really good laterals and they can spin quite hard. This is also where we first encountered one of the most feared creatures when visiting a theme park in Germany, the German wasps. They never let you alone and they irritate you to death. And the worst thing is that it is illegal to kill them in Germany, so once you get annoyed by them, you're stuck with them. Luckily, this wasn't the worst of them this trip, but the wasps in Germany are really something you have to keep in mind for sure. You can divide Skyline Park into 2 areas, an area where it is quite forestry and an area where you are walking through literal farmlands. You could say that once you're past the FBS spinner, you will enter the farmland section area of the park. Afterwards, we actually wanted to ride sky rafting. This is a rafting ride that looks a bit like Amazonia in Bavaria Park. And just like that ride, it was broken. So we had to look at Berg- und Talherz instead, which was testing. The coaster would, unknowingly to us at that time, just opened a day after we visited. The coaster looked fun, but nothing too special. And it is certainly a really big downgrade of their original plans to build a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster. Next, we went to the right corner of the park, which is the best themed and coherent area of the park in my opinion. Here you can find the Funtime Skyflyer that stands 150 meters tall, which we didn't do because we were too scared. You can also find the world's largest and biggest traveling log flume here, Wildwasserbaan 2. At least it used to be this, as it now resides permanently at the park. Wildwasserbaan 2 was quite a fun log flume, which fortunately doesn't get you too wet. Then it was time for another coaster in the form of Sky Dragster. This was a surprisingly fun coaster that even offered some very mild airtime. Sky Dragster is a Maurer spy coaster. On this coaster you can control your own speed, which makes the ride very interactive. We only had to ride one more coaster, but first we did some of their flat rides. We first did Sky Circle, which was a really good flat, but at the same time one of the scariest experiences of my life. We also did my first Sky Shot, which was also a very fun experience. Then we rode the last remaining coaster, Sky Spin. This was the worst and roughest spinning coaster that I've ever done in my whole life. This coaster is 10 years old by now, but it felt way rougher than some 20-year-old coasters that I did. It definitely wasn't a good experience in my opinion. Skyline Park was definitely an experience. I wouldn't say it was particularly good or bad, because we managed to amuse ourselves throughout the entire day. The park itself has very big potential, although it needs a big cleanup. Skyline Park was definitely an amusement park, as it doesn't have theme sections, but it has some good and gorgeous looking areas. They also need to put some love in their rides and really invest a bit extra in their maintenance. The staff also wasn't that friendly, and most of them didn't really speak English, which isn't necessarily a problem because I do speak a bit of German, but I can imagine it is a problem for other people. I recommend visiting the park if you're in the area or you're going on a trip, because the park has a lot of credits, although their coasters aren't anything special. I personally wouldn't go back there unless they build something very unique or big or great, or something like that. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more theme park adventures. Bye!